for 5 Below knockoff robots. Yeah, I bought 3 more. I got 3 more knockoff Transformers. Well, Transformers. The last one will shock you. Yeah, I'm gonna save the most bizarre one for last. But I got the desert version of the tank, of Brawl. It's ironclad. Yeah, the last one I got was the jungle tank. This one's the desert tank. I like Combiner Wars Brawl, and I wanted I wanted this figure, I guess. So I'm very interested to see how this one is probably going to be exactly the same, because I mean it's exactly the same. I don't know what I really expected here. And what do you know? It seems to be exactly the same. So I'm honestly not even sure where my jungle tank is right now. I genuinely do not know where I put it. But I did a video talking about the green one, if you want to check that out. This is the tan one, this is the desert one. And I still feel like for $5, like, this is a pretty decent toy. Now, the plastic is very cheap feeling, but it's not the brittle kind of cheap. It's the cheap toy kind of cheap. Like, you can kind of see, like, that gloss shimmer to it. It kind of has, like, that weird, like, softness. I mean, if you know plastics well enough, like, hearing me scratch it, you probably have a pretty good idea of the kind of feel this is going to have. You can see the joints are, you know, a little loosey-goosey. Nothing super special. But yeah, this is Combiner Wars Brawl. Like, it just is. And all these figures have this weird, like, combiner port in the chest that makes no sense because there's no real combining functionality for any of these. So I don't know why they kept that. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about this one too much because I've already talked about this toy before. You can take, I think you can take the gun out separate, right? Can't you? If you want to just have this separate. Yeah, come on. So yeah, if you want to have them, like, hold just the little gun, just like the Combiner Wars Brawl, you can. You know, it's a nice little option. Yeah, not too much to say on this one. You can also put the turret on the arm if you want. If you want it to look like a big shield gun. I actually do think that looks pretty cool. That's a pretty cool look, but it's it's a knockoff of Combiner Wars Brawl. What more can I say? Alright, let's get it transformed. They did change the engineering quite a bit from Brawl to this guy. Again, I did more of a comparison in that video. I've actually had this one sitting around for a while. I decided, hey, I've got a couple more. I'll just talk about this one as well. So I think that goes like that. Yeah, there we go. And then it's so interesting how the legs just push in instead of the normal slide like the Combiner Wars ones have. And then you just kind of re-latch these. It's very interesting that there's latches. I mean, when do Transformers ever have, like, actual latches? It's just very interesting to me how they changed the engineering just ever so slightly. Alright, that's pretty much it. Get that weird little thing forward and put the tank turret on top. And there is our desert tank. Check it out. It's a desert tank. Don't really have much more to say on this one. Again, I do love all the camo paint on it. It is kind of nice looking. And this is a nice tank mode. I'm not going to lie. This is a nice tank. If I was, you know, a kid getting this for $5, I think I would kind of enjoy this thing. But it is a knockoff and it is kind of garbage. So I'm just putting it out there. Alright, so there's the first one. Not too much to talk about on this. Our next one, however, seems to be a bit more interesting because it's looking kind of like Impactor. It kind of looks like an Impactor knockoff, but also kind of looks like its own thing. His name is Blizzarder. Rocket System. I love his paint. That's why I got this one. I love the camo on this. I love, like, the bluish gray plastic color. Unfortunately, the head sculpt for this probably AI art looks a lot better than the head sculpt on the toy. But the other one I saw there didn't even have a mouth, so, you know, I'll take it. There was, like, another kind of tanky guy. He literally didn't have a mouth. Yeah, looking at this art, is it AI? I don't know. Like, it has, like, some of the design consistencies of it not being AI, but it's looking kind of AI. It kind of is. We're getting to that point now with AI where it's getting harder and harder to tell, and I honestly am not sure. But see, like, things that are giving it away that it's not. It's like that little notch. So there's, what, 6 notches on each one, so yeah, that's consistent. And then the second to the outside has a little divot in it on both sides, so like that kind of consistency is telling me it might not be AI. I don't know. That's your box art analysis of the day. All right, let's open this one up. I don't know why I'm using my X-Acto knife instead of my box cutter, but that's just how I'm feeling today. So I'm really curious about this one. Number one, I love this gun. That's actually really cool. So on this side, it has like the rockets, and this side, it just looks like a blaster. Wow, I'm actually kind of curious if like normal Transformers can wield this gun. All right, Crosscut, be my test subject. Can normal Transformers hold this gun? Oh, yes. Let's go. Because I actually really like this gun. Nice. That's cool. Definitely enjoy that. All right, I just had to test that. All right, so here is Blizzarder. And he looks kind of neat. I'm definitely digging all this paint on him. Like, I love the white and the black camo on this bluish gray plastic. But he is feeling a lot more hollow. Oh, wow. Yeah, he is a lot more hollow than the Brawl knockoff. Like, look at these arms. Look at those arms, dude. Oh, no. Oh, no. That is true front of box deception. Like, you can see this looks pretty decent, but then flipping it around, oh no. Wow. Wow. Now, one thing I'm curious about, is this an Impactor knockoff? Because that's the vibe I'm getting. The engineering doesn't really seem to be, but some of the sculpt might be, so I'll be right back. This was honestly a great excuse for me to get this figure off the shelf, because I've not played with Siege Impactor in a long time, and this guy's kind of great. But yeah, you can definitely tell he is sharing some design elements, mostly lifting up this chest thing. You can see, like, he's got the same head, he's got the same chest, like, it's not an exact knockoff. Like, you can see the engineering is entirely different. Like, these are not the same toys. But, I mean, looking at the chest, looking at the head, they definitely took from Siege Impactor. Even the waist as well. The waist is very similar. But, like, the arms are totally different. A lot of the rest of the engineering kind of seems like a... I don't know, like a Legends G2 Megatron or something. Seems very akin to that. But honestly, like, looking at both of these, I'd honestly love to see Siege Impactor in this color scheme. Because this color scheme is awesome. And that's the only reason I bought this toy, because the toy itself is kind of garbage. But yeah, it's very interesting that it is taking elements of Impactor, but it's not Impactor. Alright, so he does have the big gun. Looks like if we want it in missile mode, it's not going to be like fully straight on, but he does also have, you know, blaster mode, I guess. So he's got the big gun. Hooray for him. His articulation, nothing at the head. He's got the one singular ball joints at the arms, and his arms are one piece. Nothing at the waist. His hips are on swivels, it seems like. It seems like they're on ball joints, but they just have no range beyond just a swivel forward and back. And he's got knees. So, hey, that's something that he's got that the Brawl doesn't have. He's got knees. But he has very, like, Legends, like, old-school Legends equivalent articulation. Like, it's very basic. Very bare bones. Speaking of, oh, he's got incorrectly flipping feet, I guess, for transformation. Yeah, let's go ahead and transform this guy. Let's see how the transformation goes. I'm sure it's mega easy. I find it very interesting. He's got a ratchet. He's got the worst feeling, sounding ratchet joint in his torso I've probably ever felt. If I was inclined, I would, like, dismantle this toy and just see how bad that ratchet is. I can definitely tell that is not a spring ratchet. That's one of those ratchets where it's literally, like, plastic bending. Speaking of plastic bending, he's got, like, this little slot to connect the legs. And you kind of have to flex the plastic for it to properly connect. Alright, so seems like the last thing we've got to do is bring these arms up. And we have to totally flip them the other way because the feet are in the way. And then we'll take the cannon here and connect it right there. And there we go. Here is our not Siege Impactor in his missile launcher mode. Kind of cool looking. I'm not going to lie, it is kind of cool. I do wish the rest of the front of this was also painted black to kind of match. It's a very basic bare bones robot. Very basic. I just can't get over. Like, look at the flex of the plastic right there. You see that? You see how it's kind of bowing? Wow. Wow. And again, the plastic doesn't feel brittle. It's not like that cheap brittle plastic where it's going to snap apart like a cookie. But it definitely feels like a dollar store toy. Is this one as good as the Brawl? I don't think so. I can actually feel it's lighter than the Brawl, too. It's lighter. It's literally less toy. So, that's very interesting. Also, he doesn't have the weird combiner port that the Brawl had. So, yeah, there's our Siege Impactor. I don't know. So, we've got Combiner Wars Brawl and Siege Impactor. I've got one more. What is it knocking off? When I saw this third one, when I walked into Five Below, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. No way. Yes, way. They're knocking off Tobot. They're knocking off Tobot. Look, it's Wild Chief. They're knocking off Tobot. No. This Tobot Wild Chief is perhaps one of the highest quality toys in my entire collection. And now I have a super mega cheap knockoff of him. I can't believe this. And they had the audacity, of course they changed the color, which I actually would love to see this guy in blue, but they had the audacity to even keep the white in the same kind of spots, just to make it even more obvious that this is a Tobot knockoff. Yeah, this is crazy. Now granted, this is like the nice big deluxe Tobot Wild Chief, so I'm sure this is kind of knocking off the mini Wild Chief that usually has a little bit less engineering and everything going on. But still, you can tell. Even down to like the thing on the head, the chest, everything. This is Tobot Wild Chief. This is crazy. But now he's off-road vehicle, city guard. How can you be an off-road vehicle and be a city vehicle at the same time? But anyways, yeah, let's take a look at his artwork. Not gonna lie, that artwork actually looks really cool. So, again, not sure if it's AI. I'm leaning towards no, but it could be. Yeah, this artwork is like painted up like the Tobot Wild Chief. Like it has all of the paint hits, it has all of the deco. It really makes me want to see Tobot Wild Chief in blue. Tobot's not really the toy line to do repaints like that, but I want to see it. I want to see it after seeing this knockoff. All right, let's get this one open. I can't believe they knocked off Tobot Wild Chief. And if you don't know what Tobot is, if you've been watching this thinking, what is Tobot? What is Wild Chief? It is a South Korean robot toy line. A lot of it's actually available on Amazon. I don't think Wild Chief is anymore. He's from an older set. But yeah, it's a Korean transforming robot line. And they're really nice, high quality toys. I've done a couple videos on them. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I've done a couple videos on them if you want to check them out. I love them, but this seems to be... So yeah, my first impression, do these flip down so you can actually have feet? I think so. Okay. So he's actually got feet because he was not standing up. Yeah. Not a lot going on here. Not a lot going on. The plastic, I would say, is feeling even cheaper. It is not feeling very good. But I can tell he's got some articulation. He's got horribly designed hips where they can hardly move forward, but they are on ball joints. And that piece of plastic is totally hollow. His knees, they're actually on pretty nice plastic ratchets. Like, those actually do feel pretty decent. His head is not going to move. His shoulders only move forward and back on like a backward butterfly. And his arms can move outward, but he does have like a bend at the elbow, which is like, you know, hindered by the shoulder pad, but still he's got a bend at the elbow, which is kind of fascinating. And I'm sure that's going to help him hold his very big blaster, which, again, not going to lie, actually looks really cool. Now, I am leaning towards, if I do end up using this for Transformers, giving this a little bit of a paint job, because that black plastic is looking a little flat. But that is a nice-looking blaster. That is nice. I am noticing the issue of he literally cannot raise the gun up. His elbows do not bend enough, and he does not have forward at the arms, so he has a gun, but he cannot shoot. That's awesome. Love that for me. But yeah, I still just find this absolutely crazy that I'm holding a very cheap blue knockoff Wild Chief. Because, dude, I can't emphasize. Let me grab him again. I cannot emphasize enough just how high quality Tobot toys are. Like, they are insane quality. I mean, just look at this thing. If you think this looks incredible, yeah, it feels just as good as it looks. The articulation, like, it's not superposable, but it has all the articulation you need. He is caked in so many cacophonous clicks. His transformation's, like, really easy, but really fluid. He has a metal accessory. Like, this key is metal. Yeah, like, Tobot is probably some of the highest quality robot stuff out there, especially for the price you pay. And just having this, who is probably just as light as one of his arms, is just, no pun intended, wild to me. So, yeah, it's fascinating. I still can't believe there's a knockoff of one of my favorite Tobots, specifically one of my favorite Tobots, at $5 Below. Like, this is wild. Again, pun not intended. Alright, so yeah, we've established in robot mode this thing's kind of garbage. How is the transformation? Let's find out. So again, he's got a really bad ratchet right there. Ugh, not very good. What else happens? What are we doing here? I'm worried his arms are gonna have his elbow popped off. I'm worried his arms are gonna have, like, nowhere to go. Because I see they have, like, a slide down. Maybe if we slide the arm down, that gives the elbow a bit more range. Yeah, it does. But I still don't think it's going to be enough range for him to... No, it's still not going to be enough for him to point the gun. I see how it is. Oh, wait, maybe a little bit. Because it had a click. Okay, so he can kind of point the gun up. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. If you have the arms fully extended down, he can kind of point it, but not very well. Alright, so I stand kind of corrected on that point. But let's transform him. I know his feet flip in. I'm sure these flip. I'm trying to think back to, like, the actual Wild Chief. I'm thinking it's going to be different, where the arms are going to just go straight back and fill in all that hollowness. That's my bet. Place your bets, everyone. That's my bet. Probably want to collapse the arms, if they will. Oh my gosh. Oh, this thing feels awful. It does not feel very good. But I think we've almost got it. Almost. Seems like there's just barely not enough space right now. I've already got the arms, like, pushed in. Do we need to bend the elbows? Or at least have him, like, facing a different direction? I don't know. I think we're getting it, though. I mean, the arms literally have nowhere else to go, so this is where they have to go. Alright, I think I'm calling it. I'm just going to chalk it up to it being kind of cheap, where the main section isn't going to fully connect. But here is our Tobot Wild Chief City Guard knockoff. Yeah. I'm really confident that they did best with the Brawl. This is not very good. You can put the gun right in the front if you want him to do that. You can do that. You can have the gun right there. You can have the gun up on the top. Actually, no, you really can't, because that port is way too shallow and it's split, so it's not going to have enough friction on that peg. I mean, it will sit there, but you can see it's really wibbly. Yeah. Oh, he's got plugs on the back. You can have it... Oh. You can have it on the back for it to spin around. How great is that? Yeah, I am perplexed here. This is wild. I just keep saying that word, huh? And it's a police vehicle as well. It's a police off-road vehicle this time around. Interesting. Or is the window... Is that a sticker? I think that's a sticker. The window looks like a sticker. Yeah, it's a sticker. Wow. They're even using stickers for this, too. Like, they can't even just paint the black. Those have to be stickers. So, guys, here we go. Here's another round of $5 Below knockoff Transformers and a Tobot. Very, very bizarre. They do a lot of remolding to these to make them a lot simpler and cheaper and different. It definitely shows. It definitely shows. I still think the Brawl is probably one of the better ones, but oh man, there's a lot of hollowness going on here. There's a lot of illegal copying going on here, which I do have to acknowledge. Like, these are illegal copies, but then again, so are, like, you know, Legendary Toys knockoffs and Bayway and all that stuff, and I like those, so I can't knock it too much. But yeah, these only cost $5 each. Honestly, I think $5 kind of reasonable for the Brawl. Like, thinking of what a $5 Transformer will get you, which is essentially one of those little thumb guys from Earthspark, compared to these, like, it's definitely a big difference. But also think, you know, $5, some places can get you a Blocky's Galaxy version, or, you know, at least a couple Defender guys. So, yeah, I don't know. Can't really say I can recommend these. They're very fascinating knockoff elements of the Transformers collecting space, as well as the Tobot collecting space, apparently. How bizarre is that? Yeah, let me know what you think about these down in the comments below. Special shout out to channel members, as always. Thank you all so much for your continued support. Have a great one, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.